like before. It's a better place I've ever seen. Well, I ain't been since 2016. So just give me a minute, wait and see. Why? Because of you and me. 'Cause I get tired of walking alone. With you I feel at home. 'Cause I ain't got no home. Let's get it out some more, yeah. Killing time, it's hard enough for me to say. I swear I'm fine. 25 hours a day. And days that I won't change for anything. 'Cause I am right. And you are you, yeah. Well, I can feel it in the winter, the crash in the sky. I just get it down here, wondering why, you left me alone. Oh, what's that? An end of the smile you can have. It's like a fell to grow about. And that's a fact. Yeah. Anytime, it's hard enough for me to say. I swear I'm fine, 25 hours a day. Amazed that I won't take for anything. Yes, I am who I am, and you are you. Anytime, it's hard enough for me to say. I swear I was fine, 25 hours a day. Amazed that I won't take for anything. 'Cause I am who I am, and you are you.
Boom, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Everything should be ready, everything should be sorted, everything should be wonderful. And it is. I think everything is in order right now. Stream's up and running, let's go. Big game today, big game today. I don't remember the last time City played the early kickoff in Champions League. I think it was like 2023, I think. Was it Copenhagen? Is the one game that sticks to mind right now. I think it was against Copenhagen, I think, in 2023, where Mahrez missed that penalty and Gomez got sent off, I think. Repping the new City shirt I ordered. Obviously, the away kit. It's got Semenyo on the back. It's beautiful, beautiful shirt. Let's just get a zoom out. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Thought I'd retire the home kit for a little bit. But yeah, you know, City really do need to get back to winning ways. Obviously losing to United on the weekend was not ideal. And if you haven't checked my match reaction to that video, to that game out, make sure to check that one out after this game, and after you check out the match reaction to this game, which hopefully is a positive one. Yeah, you know, I wasn't too happy with the performance I saw on the weekend. You know, it was very toothless. We were very, very susceptible to being caught like in transition. United counter-attacked as well, and if it wasn't for Donnarumma and VAR, we could have probably lost that game 10-0, and I'm not even exaggerating. Because if it wasn't for VAR, it would have been 5-0. Surely, yeah, it would have been 5-0. And then Donnarumma made some key saves as well. You know, that could have easily been 10-0 on a different day, and that's not something you should be saying about a game. A game against Manchester United in 2025. Do you know what I mean, man? Like, it's not exactly ideal, but you know, it's unfortunately the reality that we're living in right now. It was a very, very, very poor performance. Very, very poor performance. Very poor performance. Boom. Just making sure all the audio is calm, because for me it seems like it's dipping in and out, but I don't know if I've just like absolutely ruined my eardrums or not. I think I might have just busted my eardrums, man. I think that just might be it. There we are. Oh wait, no. No, that should all be good, I think. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I always give myself that 5 minutes before the stream starts to get everything ready, and then I never ever have everything ready. So I think I might need to extend it to 10, because I'm just incredibly unorganized, man. Like, I might be the most unorganized person you've ever met. But I think that's all good. No, yeah, that should all be golden. Yeah, that's perfect. So yeah, 5:45 kickoff today. Obviously away in Norway. This should be this on paper this should be an easy game, but this for most teams going to Bodø Glimt is a difficult game for many teams. So it's a difficult ground to go to. I think Spurs found it difficult this season and last season. I think Spurs played them this season, and obviously I know they played them last season in the Europa League, I think semi-finals, but I'm not 100% sure if they went and played there in the Champions League this season. I think so, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. But yeah, it's a difficult ground to go to, especially in the recent form that we're in. This could be a difficult game. You know, you'd hope for it not to be, because we don't want to fall into the same trap that we fell into last season when it came to the Champions League, and not qualifying for the knockout round straight out and having to go into the qualification rounds, where we obviously got absolutely embarrassed by Real Madrid. And you just don't want that. You just don't want that to happen again, do we? We do not want that to happen again. But then, no, we should win this 100%, Alfie. We should win this. But whether we actually do win this or not is a different story, because I think we should have beat Chelsea. We should have beat Brighton as well. United not so much. Like in the game, like ahead of the game, you would have said we should have beat United. But when you actually watch the game against United, we did not deserve to win that game. But when you watch Brighton and Chelsea And the chances we had in those games, we 100% had to be winning those games, man. 100%. So, you know, we do really struggle to get wins at the moment, and that's been a consistent theme for the last 2 seasons. I think we've really struggled going forward in the last 2 seasons, even really sort of in 23-24. Despite the fact we won the league, there was a lot of games and a lot of times where I just thought we just didn't have it going forward, and we were just getting bailed out by moments of magic from Foden, from Haaland, from Rodri, from De Bruyne. But we don't really have that now. Obviously, Foden's form is very inconsistent. Haaland's out of form at the moment, and obviously Rodri's still not back up to speed after his injury. So, you know, it's always difficult to predict what's going to happen in these games for City, man. I think you look at our game plan today. You look at our starting 11. I think the inclusion of O'Reilly in midfield but not playing in the 6 is quite interesting. Obviously, he played in the 6 against Newcastle, and I thought he handled himself quite well. I wouldn't say he had like a standout performance, but I thought he did play relatively well against that Newcastle midfield at St James's Park. But I'm very interested to see the sort of role he plays next to Rodri and Weinders today. Obviously, our fullback areas are a bit weak. Despite the fact Aït-Nouri's very good going forward, he's been very defensively suspect for City since signing, especially against Leverkusen in the Champions League, and obviously Rico Lewis. You know, I'm a fan of Rico. I do think he has some things to offer for this team, but I just don't think it's at right back. But unfortunately, Nunes didn't travel with the squad because he's still recovering from the flu. And then, you know, our front 3 were not good enough against Manchester United, despite the fact that, you know, not all of them started up front. All of them were on the pitch at one point against Manchester United, and none of them were good enough. So hopefully they can get back, you know, to form and to the standards we expect from them. But, you know, again, only time will tell, because nothing's certain with this Man City team anymore. Like, it's not one of those where it was a few years ago, where no matter how sort of, they have played Spurs. They drew 2-2. It just come up on my screen there. But nah, Joe, I thought you said you stopped doom scrolling, bro. But yeah, it's not like City of old, where even if we weren't playing good in the game, we'd still go and score 1 or 2 goals and put the game to bed. That's not something we can do anymore. We really do struggle to create chances, and even when we do create chances, we even struggle to put some of those chances in the back of the net. So it's going to be a very, very interesting game for us. Very, very difficult away ground to go to as well. So would I be surprised if we struggled to score in this game? No, not really. But you'd expect us to score 3 or 4 today. Maybe not 4, but I'd say like 2 or 3 goals actually. I'd expect from us today, especially with some of the players we've got out there. But, you know, this City team are very, very good at proving me wrong, and not in the good ways anyway. Mohamed already on the Marmoush propaganda. I mean, you know, he was never going to start today. He's done he's played too much, he's done too much travelling even, should I say. And yeah, playing Rodri on the 3G pitch is kind of crazy. Like, I'm praying for his knees right now. Hopefully nothing crazy happens, because this could be a long day. But I'm hearing that Gonzalez is still injured and not near fit to play. So, you know, I think I'd rather have Rodri in there and just hope and pray for his health than not have Rodri in there, if you know what I mean. But it's one of those. It's just one of those games where I don't even really know how to what to predict. The guy had 3 days rest, not much travelling to be fair. But obviously he had to come back from AFCON to Manchester and then fly back out to Norway. That's obviously a considerable more amount travelling than anybody else in the squad had to do. So it's not like he's flown straight there from being with Egypt. So I do think he'll get minutes, but I think it was very hopeful for anyone to think that he'd start. I think there's a high chance even that he will get 45 minutes, 45 to like 30 minutes today, especially depending on how Haaland starts his first half. But again, you know, it's very interesting. I was very interested to see that Doku's not starting, although I don't think he was great against Manchester United, with the fact that we don't have Semenyo available to us in this game. I thought we'd play Doku just to have that sort of more direct threat going forward, because obviously Shirky and Foden are not the most, you know, naturally gifted when it comes to pace. And yeah, no, the Guehi signing is obviously a huge bonus. You know, and you'd be stupid to say that it's not a deal that we should have went for. I know people will sit there and be like, oh well, we could have got him free in the summer. 20 million for a FA Cup winning captain and someone that brings experience into our defence is definitely a huge plus. When all defenders are fit, who's your adult starting for? I'd probably say, if I'm honest, it's probably Nunes. It's probably Nunes, Kusanov, Vardiol and O'Reilly still, I think, at the moment. But I think that's just going off of what I've seen. Obviously, there's always a chance for Aït-Nouri and Guehi to sort of break their way into that. But I just think basing it off of sheer City performances and not taking in Wolves, Algeria, Crystal Palace and England performances, and just talking about the here and now, I'd have to back those four defenders that we've had at the club for a decent while. But I do think there's obviously a huge chance that even Vardiol could go back out to left back and Guehi could come in, or that Aït-Nouri could come in left back as well. Now I'm moving Vardiol to left back. I'm starting Nunes, Guehi, Kusanov and O'Reilly. Again, that's a fair enough shout. That's a fair enough shout, if I'm honest. But I think for me personally, I just think Vardiol is just that slight bit better at centre back than he is left back. Although he's not the best in the air, I would say that is definitely something that Guehi has over him. Vardiol in the air is very suspect, especially when he's defending on the sort of halfway line and the ball goes over his head. He's a bit suspect in that area. But other than that, like, I don't really have many complaints with Vardiol when it comes to centre back. I think out of all of our centre backs at the club right now, he's the one that I see the least amount of flaws in their game. Mostly is because I think Kusanov is still a bit rash and reckless. And yeah, it is very much dependent on how well Guehi plays when he comes into the squad, which I think he will definitely play on the weekend against Wolves. But on the topic of signings and people coming in and out, what's everyone's thoughts on the news that apparently so Stones and Bernardo Silva will be leaving at the end of the season as free agents? We've got Kovacic allegedly being eyed up by West Ham. I don't know if any of you saw the shorts video I did on that. And obviously as well, Oscar Bob is heavily linked with a move away from City now for around 30 to 35 million pounds, with Fulham being the front runners at the moment. And I just want to get everybody's kind of opinions on those moves, because I think everybody I mentioned there, I think it probably is time for them to leave the club. You know, you look at Stones and Bernardo Silva. I just think Bernardo Silva's performances aren't good enough, and Stones, despite the fact that he's a world-class player, he's just not fit enough to have as one of our defensive options, especially when Pep likes to have a small squad. Bob buyback clause, I could 100% see us having a buyback clause in Bob, and if we don't have a buyback clause, we'll have a big sell-on clause, because again, the potential is still there for Bob. You know, he could still go to the very, very top. He just doesn't have he's just not in the right environment to sort of rebuild his confidence, and that's kind of the thing that I've echoed time and time again when it comes to Oscar Bob. What's my predictions for the game? And also I'm doing good, my boy. But my predictions, I'm probably gonna say, I want to say 2-0 City. I want to say 2-0 City, but I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet. So I'm going to say we're gonna win 2-1, and I think it's probably going to be a very, very difficult. I think it's going to be a very, very difficult game for City. You know, this is a very, very difficult away game in Europe, but at the same time, we have the players to go and win here, and there's no reason why we shouldn't win. I don't think Bob would join Arsenal, but he does seem like a very sort of Chelsea coded signing. I think I could definitely see him joining Chelsea. I think Chelsea, maybe even Liverpool. I just don't think he's what Arsenal will go for. I think Liverpool or Chelsea, if he was to join another top 6 Premier League club. But yeah, no, you know, I obviously, if he does leave City, which it seems highly likely that he will, I obviously do wish him the best wherever he goes, because, you know, it's not like he's a player that I think is bad. It's not that I don't think he's good enough to play for Manchester City. I just think under the circumstances we're in right now, we'd be stupid not to take the money for him, given his injury situation and his recent form. But, you know, there is always the potential, and I do honestly back him to get his career back on track, because, again, he's only young. God forbid Rodri gets an ACL injury because the pitch we played. Would you put in a bid for? Honestly, I'm more of an Anderson fan than I am a Wharton fan. Granted, I've seen more of Anderson play than Wharton, and it's kind of what I've said before. If we get money for Oscar Bob, we get money for Kovacic. That's all money we can use to fund a huge midfield signing in the summer. Obviously, I'm seeing rumours that we're eyeing up Tonali as a long-term midfield option. You know, I'm not too sure how we'd go about that, and how we'd go about facilitating that move, and how we'd go about using Tonali in our starting 11. Yeah, you've gone mad. You've gone mad if you think we've got the facilities to buy both Wharton and Anderson. You've gone mad. So I'd probably pick Anderson. I think Anderson would just be a great addition to this team, and he's definitely brings something that we're missing in the squad. But we're missing quite a lot in the midfield area. If I'm honest, like, a lot of our players are very, very similar profiles in the midfield, so we just don't have much diversity in what our players can and can't do in the middle. Because obviously Bernardo Silva, Kovacic, and Rico Lewis are all very similar players. I mean, Pep's trying to mould Foden into a Bernardo Silva type, so that's another one to throw in there. Then you've got Rodri and Nico, who are very similar as well. If Rodri doesn't extend next summer, I'm signing Wharton and Anderson. I don't know. I do feel like Rodri would extend. I just think it's more of the club, him and the club are sort of assessing his injury situation and his fitness situation. Because let's say we get Rodri to extend, and then his career just completely gets derailed by another injury and he can't get fit again. It's kind of like a waste of money and wages on him, because we're not going to be able to cash in on him. So I guess we're just kind of monitoring the fitness situation. If I'm to be hopeful about the whole situation when it comes to Rodri, and not extending a new deal. Obviously, we're around 20 minutes away from kickoff now. Has anyone got any score predictions in here? I feel Rodri is sniffing. I don't think he'd go Real. I don't think he'd go to Madrid. Again, that's a club that heavily disrespected him when he went and won the award that's the pinnacle of world football. You know, he went and won the Ballon d'Or, and he got absolutely disrespected by Real Madrid as an organisation by just refusing to turn up and acknowledge his achievement because they felt like they were wronged. So yeah, if he was to go to any of the big two in Spain, it would probably be Barcelona. But you know, I'm not 100% that he would leave City. You know, he's one of those that he's definitely good enough to leave City. You know, there is a level higher than City, because, you know, you never say no to Real Madrid or Barcelona, no matter what sort of current form or predicament they're in. They're just two teams that you can't really say no to. So yeah, but it's just a lot of speculation at the moment, and right now I'm happy to just sort of see how his injury and his recovery sort of pans out, and see if we can get the best out of him again. And again, yeah, Riyad was right when he said that there's not higher than City. And I think the issue with Alvarez, right, is he wanted to go and be the main man, right, which is fair enough. because he is good enough to be the main man at a team, and we've seen that at Atletico. But if you're going to be if you're going to leave a team where you're a squad player to go be the main man, you have to understand that you are going to be taking a step down in quality of the players, right? You have to sort of understand that, right? So obviously he's joined a team, you know, he's not as successful as he was at Manchester City after breaking into European football, and also becoming a world champion. And, you know, I can understand that he's definitely frustrated by the sort of aspirations and the sort of mentality of his teammates potentially when it comes to winning, right? But he also does have to understand that he took this step down in quality because he wanted to be the main man. Apparently there's rumours. I've heard that he said, well, from what I've seen, from what I've heard, from what I've read, Alvarez wouldn't come back to England. He says he feels like he's done everything he could in England. Whether that is true or not, I'm obviously not 100% sure, but from everything I've seen, he would not come back to England, and he is not like open to that idea. So my guess is Barcelona. My guess is Lewandowski on his way out, and they bring in Alvarez. That's my sort of guess off the top of my head, but if I'm being completely honest, I'm not 100% sure what is next for Julian Alvarez, but I can almost guarantee that it will not be in the Premier League, if I'm being totally honest. But, you know, again, who knows? Oh, 2 seconds, the stream's lagging. Oh, Isaac, my man, how's it going? Have we got a score prediction for today's game? Because I'm nervous, I can't lie. Difficult, like I've said, difficult away ground to go to. This could get dark. But then again, I said this for Newcastle. And we were very, very comfortable against Newcastle for most of the game. So, you know, who knows? If Alvarez was to come back to the Premier League and join the Prem rival, can you imagine City fans fuming? I'd be fuming. Well, when it comes to me, Alvarez didn't really leave on the best note. And in what I mean by that is Alvarez was playing to the detriment of the team just because he wanted game time. Alvarez was basically forcing himself into the left wing position and the 10 position just because he said to Pep, I'm not staying here if I'm not getting consistent starting positions. And obviously you couldn't start him over Erling Haaland, so he was starting in positions that he was not natural to, and it was a huge detriment to the team. Again, I'll always point back to that first 45 minutes playing left wing at Anfield in 23-24. That was an absolutely disgraceful performance from him. So I already wasn't really too happy with how he went about leaving the club. But yeah, I probably wouldn't be happy either if he said that he was done. He was done in England and then comes back and joins a rival. But you know, and yeah, you know, saying Julian left on a good one is fair. You know, that's just my opinion on it. You know, there are definitely players that left on worse notes. I think Raheem Sterling. I'm not a fan of the way Sterling left the club, but some of the stuff that he said afterwards, I wasn't a huge fan of. A lot of the talk about him not playing enough games, not getting many minutes, where I thought that he played a lot of minutes in that final season despite not being at his best output-wise. So, yeah, but it's just one of those things. Hey, what's these Vardios to Barca rumours? I have not seen, personally, I've not seen any Vardiol to Barcelona rumours, so that might be something I need to go look at after this stream. But personally, that this is the first I'm hearing of any sort of rumours of Vardiol going to Barcelona. Zinchenko, yeah, but then again, Zinchenko and Jesus kind of left because there wasn't really a place for them in the squad anymore, whereas Sterling left because he felt he was too good to sit on the bench, and he did all that talk about how he was going to Chelsea to win the Ballon d'Or, and you know, how's that Ballon d'Or win working out for him, you know? And it's annoying because I was a huge fan of Sterling when he was at City. I mean, I've even got which one is it here? Over here, 2 seconds. Which one is it? Is it this one? I've even got this shirt from the 1920 season. I mean, Sterling was absolutely unreal in this season. Obviously, I had his name on the back of this one. I was a huge fan of Sterling, very, very big fan of him, and I just think some of the stuff that he came out and said after leaving the club had me, just very disappointed in him. I never liked Zinchenko. He's a bit of a whinger and he's a bit hypocritical as well, Arsenal fans. I mean, I liked Zinchenko when he was at City, but again, some of the stuff that he said after leaving City, if it even came to political things, or even some of the comments he made about Thomas Partey being better than Rodri, just because they were current teammates. There were things that he did after leaving City that I did not like, but I don't know if that's just because I was kind of blind to him doing these similar things when at City, because I wanted to defend my own players. But yeah, my perception on Zinchenko did heavily change after he joined Arsenal. Hasn't Sterling not played a single minute this season? Like, he's disappeared off the face of the earth. Well, if we're going to go look at Raheem Sterling, actually, that's an interesting thing, because I'm actually at the moment in the midst of making a long form Raheem Sterling video, a video that's kind of documents Raheem Sterling's career, and it's a video I've got in the works at the moment, and I hope to have released soon, because I think it's kind of like a documentary piece, so you will, and it's something I'm working on in the background, right? So Sterling's kind of a hot topic in my mind at the moment. Can we still cover up 7-point difference on Arsenal in the title race? Well, I mean, we should have been doing that now, if I'm honest. They drop points after we drop points to Brighton, and then they drop points after we lose to Man United. Like, we should be there. We should be up there right now, but we're just not good enough to capitalise on this poor run of Arsenal form, because our form's even worse when it comes to the title race conversation. But going back to Sterling, right? So let's have a little look. So last season, because obviously Raheem Sterling has not played a single minute of football this season, right? But last season he played 28 times for Arsenal and got 1 goal and 5 assists. 0 appearances this season. And then if you go to the season before that, when he was at Chelsea, he got 10 goals and 11 assists, which isn't too bad, right? So, his last 2 seasons have been absolutely appalling. Haaland, yeah, I'd agree, Haaland definitely does need to score today. I'd rather sign Livramento. I'm a fan of Livramento. My only issue with Livramento is he is kind of made of glass, and his injury record is a bit patchy. So that's my only concern with Livramento. But other than that, I think he's a cracking player, and I definitely would take him at City. I would 100% take him at City, to be fair. But yeah, just before we kick off, I'm just going to take 5 minutes to run to the toilet, because I'm not very prepared for this stream. So I'll be back in 5, and then we'll get ready to hopefully watch Man City win a game of football. Boom, we are back. Have I missed anything interesting? Right. I'm going to be honest, these Donnarumma to Italy rumours are very interesting. Look, we can't stop Donnarumma from going back to his homeland, to be fair. I'm kind of guessed that's what the idea was with the Donnarumma and James Trafford signings, if I'm honest. Obviously, if AC Milan or any big Italian team really, other than probably Inter, because I feel like he'd get murdered if he went there, came in to try sign Donnarumma, I think he'd go 100%. Whereas Trafford, homegrown, obviously came through the City Academy, he's a lot more likely to stay. So I could imagine the reason that we have both of them is because we're not able to sort of guarantee the long-term future of Gianluigi Donnarumma at the club. United would have smashed us 5-0 if it wasn't for Donnarumma. Well, if it wasn't for VAR and Donnarumma, that game could have been 10-0. And yeah, it does look like Oscar Bob will be leaving this month, probably to Fulham, and I think that's probably for the best. I'll probably stay at City. He does have a chance to make it here. Patience is key, but then again, you have the World Cup argument. England starter, but Trafford should stay. I think Trafford definitely should stay, because the issue is, right, as long as Jordan Pickford is playing for England, is available for England, there's no reason why Jordan Pickford should not be picked for England. No matter if Nick Pope, Aaron Ramsdale, Dean Henderson, James Trafford, no matter if any of them are playing better than him in the league, Jordan Pickford should play for England, because he's England's best goalkeeper. Like, it doesn't matter whether he's the English best goalkeeper in the Premier League, he's England's best goalkeeper. Like, it is as simple as that for me when it comes to the England goalkeeper. Arsenal treble loading, that's some wishful thinking, that one. I think it will just be the one. I think it will just be the Premier League, if I'm honest. I don't see the treble landing, if I'm being real. But the league, definitely. That's definitely an Arsenal W there on the league. Boom. Is it this one I want to have up? No, it's this one. Boom. So you expect to go to... I don't think he'd go to Inter. Again, I don't think he'd go to Inter because of obviously his AC Milan links. But I do think if, let's say, Juventus, AC Milan come calling again, or Napoli, I could definitely see him ending up back in Italy, because you have the chance to live in Manchester or Italy as a whole. Which one you picking? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's an interesting one. Those leaks are very, very interesting. And his agent knows exactly what he's doing by saying stuff like that. So with his agent saying stuff like that, Donnarumma needs to keep putting in good performances, or else he could see himself fall out of favour in the squad. For Trafford, who seems to have the aspirations of a long-term future here. I mean, Elise, yeah, I think Elise would be good, but given the personnel we have now on that right side, I just think Elise would be overkill, despite the fact that I think he's an exceptional footballer. How do you facilitate having Semenyo, Shirky and Elise? I just think it's very unfeasible, and something that's basically impossible to manage from a game point, minutes and man management point of view, if I'm being totally honest, when it comes to the signing of Elise. But if we get company, if we're able to get company in, I wouldn't be shocked if we were able to try steal him away from Bayern. I think Trafford will stay. I do think Trafford will stay. There's a reason, there's a reason all of this happened. I don't think that Trafford was joined City to be the number one straight away. He must have also been in the know, because everybody heard about the rumours to Donnarumma to City even before we signed Trafford. So Trafford must have inquired about these issues. So I think it would be very strange for Trafford to be very unaware of our intentions to sign Donnarumma, or our interest in signing Donnarumma. So there has to be something at play for the bigger picture, because signing two goalkeepers in a window, we signed 3 goalkeepers in the window, should I say, and having 4 goalkeepers in the squad, it just doesn't make much sense. Obviously, it was difficult for us to offload Ortega, but yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't think he goes to Newcastle. Especially with the state Newcastle in at the moment. I don't think he'd go to Newcastle. Personally, I think if he wanted to go to Newcastle, he would be at Newcastle right now. Obviously, with them also trying to sign him in the summer. I think he starts for Newcastle. I think both of Newcastle's goalkeepers are extremely overrated, and I genuinely think James Trafford is better than both of Newcastle's goalkeepers. I think Nick Pope is quite the liability at times, and obviously Aaron Ramsdale is just Aaron Ramsdale, and I'll never be gaslit into thinking that Aaron Ramsdale is a good goalkeeper. So yeah, it's just one of those things, really. I think if he wanted to be at Newcastle, and if he was going to be a Newcastle player, he'd be a Newcastle player right now. But yeah, that's kind of it on Trafford, really. I was impressed with his performance against Newcastle last week, and I was actually quite surprised not to see him start today, if I'm honest. I thought this would have been a chance for him to redeem himself in the Champions League, but obviously it is pretty difficult to drop Donnarumma after the performance he put in on the weekend, despite the fact we lost. Do you know what? Do you know what's funny about that Edison performance, right? Obviously, that game was at 2 a.m. English time, right? And I was thinking to myself, do I stay up and watch this game? I had work the next day, probably I think at like 10 o'clock, 8 o'clock, something like that. And I was like, do I stay up and watch this game? And I was like, no, I'm going to go to bed. I don't think it's going to be worth it. And then I woke up, saw the score, saw the goals we conceded, and I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God I did not stay up and watch that, because I would have been mad. I would have been, like, my head would have been so hot. You would have seen the steam coming off of my head when I arrived at work that next day. That would have been dark. That would have been a dark time for me. So I am so grateful that I made the choice not to watch that game of football. I think that's probably one of the best decisions I made in the whole of 2025. Again, obviously, make sure you like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Obviously, we're 9 subscribers away from 1,000 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and obviously like the stream. It really does help push it out to a wider audience. I was like, thank God we're getting a new keeper. The thing is, I like Edison. I liked Edison a lot, man. But that last season was indefensible. The things he did last season were inexcusable, to the point where I couldn't back him anymore. Although he got a stupid amount of assists last season, it was inexcusable, some of the performances he put in last season. Let's just rise that up a little bit and then put that there. And there we go. There we go. Need a big performance today. Need a huge performance. Am I looking at anyone in particular for a huge performance that I need a huge performance from? Probably I want to see a good Lewis performance. I want to see a good Elaine performance. I want to see a good Aït-Nouri performance. I don't want to see a good performance from that front three. Everybody else at the moment for me is in my good graces when it comes to performances as of recent. But Aït-Nouri, Lewis, the front three need to impress, and I just want a big Elaine performance nonetheless, because I'm actually quite a fan of the way that he's performed, minus the derby on the weekend. I know the screech you are going to let out when Marmoush gets on this pitch will be nuts, will be crazy. I'll be able to hear it all the way from here. It will go international. Nice. They just don't have a picture for Elaine on the graphic, so he's just blank and he's just not there. That's a violation, man. Imagine your family are at home watching you play your first Champions League away day and you don't even appear on the graphic. Could we say a Guéhi? I don't think so. I think as soon as Guéhi gets in the squad now, Elaine will be used very sparingly, which is maybe a little bit unfair on him, because I think he's performed quite well. But I do think How's Elaine eligible? Under 21s, I think. U21s. I think so. Anyway, let me just. I'm gonna double check that at halftime, but I think it's because he's U21s. I think so, but I'm not too sure. Rodri, bro, just keep those knees intact, my boy. I'm looking at you, Rodri. Keep those knees intact. Boom, there we go. We are underway in Norway. For Manchester City vs Bodø Glimt in the Champions League. We need a big performance from the boys today. We start off with the ball with Aït-Nouri steaming forward, and he wins himself a free kick within 15 seconds of this game. Better than seeing Ake centre back. Again, I think Ake is just not good enough in the air. Like I'm a huge fan of Ake as well, but I think his defending for Leverkusen's second goal was absolutely undefendable. Like it was so bad. And I just haven't been impressed with his performances this season, if I'm honest, which is quite a shame because again, like I said, I'm a huge fan of him. Shirky, Aït-Nouri into Rico. I really want a good Rico performance, man, because unlike a lot of people, I actually like Rico, and I do think there's a talented player in there. I just think that he gets hung out to dry a lot when he gets made to play at right back, because I just don't think that's really sort of his game. He's so much better when he's picking up the ball in tight pockets in the midfield. He's just a very technically gifted player, and he's not really the sort of best right back option that we have. But I do think he's just a good player nonetheless. Not a great player, but he's a decent player. Tell you what, Aït-Nouri has started this game quite well. Shirky on the other hand, that's crazy. And Bodø Glimt get the first opportunity of the match, but that's a great interception by Vinders. The ball comes back out. It's deflected by Rodri, and we just about get it clear from O'Reilly, but still coming forward. And this is diabolical, because again, it's just haphazard defending. You know, we're not clearing the ball well enough. You know, it's all just very last ditch, very amateur. Which is obviously something that no City fans are a fan of, if I'm totally honest. But we have pushed them back a bit now. And O'Reilly recovers, but that is offside. So is O'Reilly playing? So O'Reilly's playing left back. Aït-Nouri's playing right back, and we've got Lewis in midfield, if I'm understanding this correctly right now. Which I'm not mad about. I think that's quite interesting, actually. I do think that's a quite interesting decision. I do like seeing Rico in midfield, as opposed to right back. I think he's so much better there, like I've obviously previously mentioned. What's UK Nando's? It's actually not that good. I actually think it's quite overrated, if I'm honest. It used to be good, but now obviously the prices went up, and I think the quality of the foods went down. I actually think UK Nando's is quite overrated. We've got a nice ball over the top here for Aït-Nouri to attack and come forward for the first time of City sort of breaking into the Bodø Glimt final third. That's a good pass round the corner from Shirky, but Reinders doesn't do enough to keep it on the pitch. It does go out for a goal kick. No, I don't think it is over there. I've had Popeyes here once before. I thought it was alright. Do you know what I did have? I went to Cardiff and I had Tim Hortons. And I had to talk to my boy Eli, because he lives out in Canada, and I was like, bro, this Tim Hortons food is not it, man. Like, the coffee was good. Don't get me wrong, the coffee was nice, but that Tim Hortons food was, that was not good. It felt like I was just eating cardboard. O'Reilly now cuts inside. He gets the ball in behind the Cherky, who turns, releases it to Aït-Nouri, who's got plenty of space out on his right hand side. He has Rico on the underlap. Cross comes in, it's cleared, but it will be a City throw-in. I don't think What's just happened there? How have we now just conceded a throw-in when 2 seconds ago we had a throw-in? Oh no, it is our throw-in. Never mind. I was so baffled because I took one glance at chat and I looked back and the ball was back out of play. Never mind. Ignore me. O'Reilly now. Tell you what, we are playing a lot more positive today. It is one thing that I'll say. You know, like, it's not always sideways. We are picking the ball up and looking forward, and I do think that is due to the introduction of players like O'Reilly and Aït-Nouri into this game. So another good run by Aït-Nouri. He skips inside, gets the ball inside to Shirky. Shirky shoots, saved by the goalkeeper, and City get their first corner of the afternoon, or evening should I say. And again, it's excellent play by Aït-Nouri. He's, you know, we're only 5 minutes into this game, but all of the chances City have had so far have come from Aït-Nouri finding space, Aït-Nouri bringing the ball forward, Aït-Nouri passing the ball into space. And he did really well to find Shirky there. And we've got Phil Foden's first corner of the night. I can't imagine it's going to lead to much, but, you know, there's always hope. Corner in from Foden. And it's just glanced wide by Max Alain, I think. Or does that just miss his head completely? Because if he does get a contact on that is a poor header. Ooh, yeah, he just doesn't get enough on it to guide it into the corner, and it just kind of skims off of his head and goes wide and out for a goal kick. But, you know, that was in a dangerous area from Foden. I'll give him that. He actually aimed it at a City player that time. So things are getting slightly better. But now we're back to having to defend, and we're not in the greatest of shape right now. The cross comes back, and it's, you know, the cutback's met by Foden, who then tries to clear it to Shirky, who loses his aerial duel. Another ball played over the top, which should be dealt with by O'Reilly, and he does really well to deal with that one. And then pass it to Vinders, who finds himself in a tiny bit of trouble there. And Bodø Glimt do have the ball in the City box, but it's cleared by Lewis. Haaland then wrestles with the defender and is able to play it onto Shirky, and now City have a 3v3. Shirky cuts it back. Plays it inside to Rodri. Rodri's got Foden and Haaland up in front of him, but then there's no real angle for the pass, so he goes back to Kusanov, and now Bodø Glimt have all players back in position, in defensive position. Alain. Vinders. He goes out wide to Aït-Nouri. He's got Foden inside and Lewis to his left. And then Lewis plays it across to Max Alain. So City now kind of struggling to break down the Norwegian side. They're kind of sitting in a bit of a, I wouldn't say deep block, but they're in position. You know, they're in formation. They're all sticking to their positions. You know, making it very, very difficult to sort of for City to find space in the midfield and then be able to play a pass in behind. But Rodri finds some space. He gets out wide to Aït-Nouri, who's once again unmarked and can drive at the Bodø Glimt box. He then tries to find Shirky, but Shirky's not quick enough and it is cleared. And now it's going to be a throw into City to be taken by O'Reilly. Rodri, Max Alain, O'Reilly, Rodri, and then Alain. He goes back to Donnarumma. Once again, Aït-Nouri's and acres of space on the right hand side. Donnarumma, Alain, O'Reilly. He looks to switch it to Kusanov, who is getting closed down, but he's able to head it inside to Lewis, and he's got some time and space to bring it forward for City, and he does. And then he finds Shirky, who then plays it out wide to Aït-Nouri, once again looking to make something happen from the right hand side for City. Plays it inside to Lewis. Now Foden. Now Lewis. He plays it in behind for Vinders. Just about gets to the ball first. And back to Aït-Nouri. Cherki. Lewis. Kusanov. Elaine. Now it's Lewis. He's got time to think about a pass inside. And he finds Cherki, who plays it in behind to Haaland. Haaland shoots. And it's claimed by the keeper. I mean, that was a very hopeful shot, really. He sort of hit it, and it was just had too much lift on it, really, and it wasn't really sort of fast enough, have the pace on it to beat the keeper. You know, that was a good attack from City. Very, very good attack. I'm a fan of some of the positions that Rico Lewis is finding himself in the midfield. Lewis, Rodri, Max Helene, Kusanov, Aït-Nouri, Cherki, and now Lewis. I wouldn't go as far as saying Rico Lewis and Elaine are trash, and I wouldn't even really say Ake's trash either. I'd say Ake's just, you know, on the decline. I wouldn't say Lewis is trash. I think when he's used in midfield, I think he can be very, very useful to City. And obviously Elaine's, you know, he hasn't even made 5 like starts for City. You know, he's very, very early in his City career to sort of put a label like that on him. I think that's quite unfair. Aït-Nouri again. Rodri. He goes inside to Cherki, who plays it out wide beautifully to Aït-Nouri, who then plays a 1-2, and it's still Aït-Nouri. And then it's cleared for a City throw-in. It's a beautiful combination play between Ryan and Ryan. Rodri. Oh, well, we're playing a lot better than I've seen in the last few games. Now it's Foden. Rodri. He dinks one out wide again to Aït-Nouri, who's unmarked yet again. And then he goes out wide to Cherki, who should win City a corner. No, goal kick. Got to charge it for my computer quickly. Can't have the laptop dying on me now, can I? So again, 12 minutes into this game, still 0-0, but there have been promising signs for City. Again, there's been a few worrying defensive signs, but on the whole, very positive going forward. But hopefully now it's just sort of trying to create a few clear-cut chances. Again, another ball over the top dealt with by O'Reilly, who goes back to Donnarumma. He goes to Rodri. Now it's Kusanov. Back to Donnarumma. And then out wide to O'Reilly. Donnarumma. Rodri. Kusanov. This is very comfortable, composed football at the back from City now. Now it's Lewis. Cherki. He can turn and run at goal. Again, he's got Aït-Nouri in support out wide, who does well to get round his man. Now it's Lewis. He goes switching it to O'Reilly. O'Reilly brings it down nicely. And then gets it inside to Foden. It's back to O'Reilly. Vinders now. He goes inside to Cherki, but Cherki tries to spin on the ball and just misses it, and it rolls through to the Bodø Glimt goalkeeper. But again, you know, good positive stuff from City so far. Very good positive stuff. A lane now, back to Donnarumma. Now it's Aït-Nouri. Constantly in space on the right hand side. Bit of a mix up there between Cherki, Lewis and Aït-Nouri, but we have the ball nonetheless. Rodri. Inside to Vinders. Cherki. Now it's Aït-Nouri. Kusanov. Lane. Now Rodri. It's beautiful stuff by Rodri. Beautiful pass by Rodri to Foden. Now it's O'Reilly. He looks to try get the cross in. He does lift it in. It's dealt with first by the defender, and then it's eventually cleared only as far as a lane though. And now City come again. O'Reilly. He then again looks to hook across into Haaland, but it's now headed out, and this time for a City corner. Yeah, it's a City corner. Again, a lot better stuff from City, a lot better stuff. And I think when we have O'Reilly on the pitch, we've just got such better crossing on the ball. I think O'Reilly's a very good crosser of the ball, and I think it just adds that sort of different dimension to our game, and it's something we were definitely missing against United. We weren't pumping high balls into the box for Haaland to try contest in the air and head in. But we've got Foden on the corner now. This one's whipped in back post. All the way out to Lewis, who just about keeps it in play. That was a poor corner. Now it's Cherki on the edge of the box. He then goes to chip one back stick to Foden. Bit of a miscommunication, and it goes out for a goal kick. I think we just need to get a nice early goal. I think the longer and you know, this is something that's going to sound very obvious when it comes out of my mouth, but the longer and longer you go without scoring and despite the fact you're dominating possession, it just frustrates you more and more, and then you're just trying too hard to get the goal, and it just makes it easier for you to be caught on the counter attack because you're obviously committing more men forward, and that's something we've seen happen time and time again for City. Across the years with Pep Guardiola, not just in the last 2 seasons where we've been below par when it comes to City standards. It's good work by Elaine there to win the ball, and it's a nice pass inside to Rodri, who does go down, but he's straight back up, so thankfully that's nothing to worry about. Nice O'Reilly. Rodri. Foden. O'Reilly. Foden again. A win here guarantees us top 8. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm not actually 100% sure of what the Champions League table is looking like. If I'm honest, I haven't really kept my eye on it. We've got Rodri now. He plays it inside to Cherki, who I think is just onside, and then he crosses it in, and it's going to be a corner. But the City players are appealing for a handball, and I am confident that it did hit his arm, but I just don't think. I think he was in a natural enough position for it to be deemed a corner. But yeah, back to the Champions League question. I'm not 100% sure that it guarantees it, but it obviously gets us closer to it. Ooh, no, I don't think that's a penalty personally. I think because his arm's tucked against his body. I think if it hit his other arm, that's 100% a penalty. But for me personally, that one's not a penalty, and it's not been given. So we've got another corner for City. This one again to be taken by Foden. Hopefully we get something better than the last one. Foden in with a corner. Again aimed back stick. And it's instantly cleared. but I think Lewis is going to follow it out for a throw-in. So again, not a good corner for City, and again, not a good corner by Phil Foden. It's starting to become a bit of a problem. Max Alain. Offside? Offside. Free kick to Bodø Glimt. Hit the goal kick long. Contested in the air by Kusanov, but he doesn't quite get there, but then it's hooked forward by Alain. Foden's the one chasing it down. Now joined with Winders. But Bodø Glimt are doing well to deal with the press so far. But then they eventually hoof a long ball that's collected by Nori. Now it's Alain. He's forced to go backwards to Donnarumma, but it's a good pass. And now it's Kusanov to build out from the back. He goes to Nori. Are we talking about City being bad, or are we talking about Bodø Glimt? Because I could see an argument for both. And you know, I wouldn't say we're 100% cooked. I'd say it's not looking great, but I wouldn't say we're cooked. Now that they're on the counter-attack, I might actually change my my opinion. It's a bit of a strong challenge by Kusanov. Yeah, we are cooked. Never mind. No, never mind. We're cooked. Never mind. We're cooked. Yeah, we're cooked. Yeah, yeah, it's over. Oh man! As soon as Kusanov did not win that ball, I have now seen it. Don't worry, I have now seen it. Don't worry, I'm in slight delay. I have now seen the Bodø Glimt have scored. Don't worry about it. As you can probably tell, but I think why? Surely I should be live now. Oh, there we go. No, sorry. I am now live. For some reason, I was 30 seconds behind. I'm not too sure why. Oops, that's the wrong one. City are not 1-0 up. Yeah, I have now just seen the Bodø Glimt have scored. That's diabolical. And that's diabolical defending. That is criminal. That is some of the worst defending I've seen. And it's very disappointing because it's come after a good spell of attacking play for City. But, you know, once again, just not good enough defensively for City at all. Not good enough at all. Oh, Alain, what have you done? What have you done? Oh, yeah, that's bad. That's bad. That is bad. That is so bad. That is crazy. I do not believe what I've just seen. I do not believe what I've just seen. I do not believe what is just unfolded in front of my very eyes. One moment. Let's take a closer look. Let's take a closer look at this. That's crazy. That's just naivety from Alain on the halfway line to do that, and then we've just not defended the cross well enough again. And you know what? I probably think Donnarumma should do better with that shot as well. So, that's great. That's actually fantastic. I am in disbelief. I don't even know what to say. I'm proof. Yeah, we need a huge response now, because that's dark. Haaland. Okay, never mind. Haaland's just going to fall on the floor now. Like, I know I said that this is a difficult away day for most teams, but I did not mean go 2-0 down within the space of 2 minutes. This is sinister. Oh, bro, it's so over. It's so over. Oh, I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm actually so lost for words. That's never a foul. That's never a foul. I am speechless. Nah, I am, that is crazy. That's crazy business, man. I've still not really come to terms with the fact that Old City are back and that we've conceded our first 2 shots on target. Like, this isn't even just conceding our first shot on target anymore. We're now conceding our first 2 shots on target. That's diabolical. That's so sinister. Foden now on the half turn. Good touch to get away from the defender, and the cutback's absolutely terrible, because of course the cutback's absolutely terrible. Nah, 100%. Like, again, like I said, this is a difficult away game, but we've made it far too easy for them. Haaland, Nori. Oh my days. Yeah, I think this is gonna be another one of those games where we just don't score. Rodri, Elaine, Vinders. Back to Vinders. O'Reilly. Can you summarise what happened defensively? Ain't Nori, what happened? Whose fault was it both games? Can you summarise what happened defensively? Was it Ain't Nori? What happened? Nah, it was... It's just... Like, I think it's just a lack of awareness from everybody involved, if I'm being totally honest. But the second goal, it probably does rest on Max Elaine's head, because he just messed up an easy touch on the halfway line, really under pressure, and just sort of gave them a 3-run to goal. But I'd probably say the first goal is more Kusanov's fault. He put in a weak challenge, and didn't fully win the ball or the physical battle. And yeah, we don't look like we're creating any meaningful chances since going 2-0 down. This is dark. This is bad. This is real bad. That's a foul. Surely, yeah, I was going to say. Haaland needs to come off. I'm sorry, but we need to see Marmoush. We probably will see Marmoush in the second half, if I'm being totally honest, especially with the way this game's going right now. O'Reilly, Elaine. That's an awful pass. That's an absolutely honking pass out wide. And now Bodø Glimt have a cheap throw-in. This is bad. This is actually really bad, and it actually started quite promising as well. I thought we looked quite good in the first 10 minutes, but ever since we've conceded that first goal, we have been nothing short of just dreadful. Like, I do not have, no matter how bad this game is, I do not have the brain capacity to commentate on a tennis match. Like, I can watch and enjoy a tennis match, but giving valuable commentary, no thank you. Oh, we are so bad. What is this? And they're in again. And that's almost 3-0. That's almost 3-0. That's just not true. That's actually factually incorrect, Isabel. I'm sorry. That's factually incorrect. That's not happening. I actually cannot believe what's unfolding in front of my very eyes. Like, I thought Leverkusen was going to be the worst Champions League performance we've played this season, but maybe I was wrong, because this is diabolical. This is diabolical. And that's a poor pass inside from Aït-Nouri. Lewis now. Probably does need some support out there. Just about finds the pass to Shirky. Now it's Rodri. So I think someone just needs to take some initiative and try and make something happen. Vinders, that's not what I meant when I said try and make something happen. That's a good interception by Rodri. Now Kusanov. Donnarumma. Sweeps out wide to O'Reilly. After that derby, I see absolutely no hunger from these players. To be fair, I haven't seen hunger from a few players in this team for a while. That's good footwork by Foden. Never mind, he's held on to the ball for too long. City do get a throw in, and we're going back to 24-25 season. Yep, exactly that. Exactly. Tell you what, ever since we won the Champions League, we have been absolutely atrocious in Europe. Our European performances after the Champions League win have been nothing short of embarrassing. They're even more embarrassing than our performances before the Champions League win. And that is saying something. Foden now. What's the point? What's the point? I'm watching some of the footballing talent on display right now, and I'm just thinking to myself, what is the point? Foden will take the cleanest first touch, and then he'll just let the ball bounce off his foot for the second and just give up possession every single time. I'm not too sure, because obviously with the early kickoff, so obviously there's still there's still games to play, and it obviously depends on all the other sort of results. We got Rodri on the ball now. Now it's Kusanov. Rodri. Now it's Max Alain, who's not really seen much of the ball since that mistake that led to the second goal. But he now fires it out wide to Aït-Nouri. To be fair, I don't blame him for being mad. My head's hot watching this. Aït-Nouri again. That's a foul. There's no sacking Pep. I'm sorry. You just can't sack Pep. As much as he was very close to getting sacked last season, this is nowhere near as bad as it got last season. And this is nowhere near Arteta's worst at Arsenal either. Shirky. 3-2 is hopeful, because I could definitely see us conceding again. That's brilliant by Aït-Nouri. Now he crosses it in. O'Reilly back across. Then it's cleared. To Foden on the edge of the box. Hits it corner. We are 100% sure when it's... I mean, yeah, I think the issue is we don't have any plan B. When one sort of strategy and style of play doesn't work, then it's just we don't know what to do. Shirky on the corner this time, so hopefully it's a little bit better. Corner in. Knocked on and wide. Haaland couldn't quite steer it in, and it's going to be a goal kick. This is bad. This is diabolical. Bro, I forgot to tell you about my feelings after AFCON. I was gonna ask, but I thought it was a bit of a sore subject, so I was gonna forget it, man. I was gonna ignore it, but since you mentioned it, man, he lost his mind. The issue is, yeah, he's lost his mind for attempting that, but if he goes in, he's got like 99 aura. So like, it's like a, you know, he was really trying to aura farm for real, and it just didn't come off. Rodri, that's a poor pass out wide. We'll receive it again with Reinders. Now it's St. Nori. Kusanov. Rico Lewis. St. Nori again. We haven't really had a clear chance on goal as well within this first 35 minutes, which is probably more alarming than the fact that we're 2-0 down, if I'm being totally honest. Reinders. Kusanov. When was the last time we won from a losing position as well? Was it Real Madrid? I think so. Real Madrid, off the top of my head, Real Madrid's the only game we've won this season from being behind. Ain't Nori. Inside to Lewis, who then tries to flick it onto Shirky. We need at least one goal before halftime. 100%, but are we going to get that goal? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Let me update my timer because I fast forwarded the game because I was in delay. My timer's also in delay. There we go. That should be. Why is it? No, that's the. You know what? You know what? This application hates me. There we go. Who would I bring on? Let me actually let's look at the bench. Let me get my phone. Let's look at this bench quickly. Just to refresh my memory on who's on the bench. Let's have a little look. I would probably only bring on Marmoush and Doku if I'm being totally honest. We don't really have any other options anywhere else to bring on to sort of spice this game up at all. Ain't Nori. Lewis. Yeah, I don't think Haaland's going to play against Wolves. I think that will be Marmoush up top for Wolves. 100% after these last two performances. Elaine. Reinders. Again, just no options going forward. Kusanov. Again, no one to pass to going forward. Ain't Nori. Kusanov. Max Elaine. O'Reilly. That's poor from O'Reilly. Really, really poor. But, you know, at least he tried to go forward with it. Yeah, exactly. I do wish we could have registered Semenyo because I feel like, especially with how much space Ain't Nori's being afforded on that right-hand side, I think he would do absolutely wonders. And here Bodø Glimt are in again. It's cut back, and this time it's wide. That one was definitely a let-off. That could have easily been 3-0 there before half-time. O'Reilly. I give up, man. No, Gahey definitely fixes the problem because the issue we're having defensively in our last two games is that we've been lacking experience at the back, right? But so he definitely fixes a problem, but we still do have a huge attack problem in the attack, and that just comes from a lack of creativity in the middle of the park, really. Because like we're always looking to the wide positions to create chances, and as soon as teams start doubling up on our wingers or our wide players, it's just game over. Max Elaine. Rico Lewis. Now Kusanov. Now you've lost your mind if you're thinking of wasting a sub on Trafford. Kusanov. Shirky. Out wide to Ain't Nori once again. Again, our whole game plan's feed it to Ain't Nori, and they've started doubling up on him now. So every time he gets it, he has to play it straight back into the middle. So we've kind of wasted the time we had with him being open by not really creating any real chances. Vinders. O'Reilly. Back to Vinders. Then across to Kusanov. Now it's Ain't Nori. Tell you what, Ain't Nori left wing would be a shout, but that would mean putting Rico Lewis at right back. So is that exactly what we want to do right now? Kusanov. Long ball from Rodri into Vinders. And he does get there. And he's able to force a corner. Not like we're going to do anything from this corner, but we have got a corner nonetheless. Corner goes short. Rodri. He hooks it into the box. It's knocked on by O'Reilly. And it's put across by Kusanov. And there's literally nobody there to tap it in. The ball was begging to be tapped in there, and Haaland has missed it, and there was someone else rushing in there. I didn't quite see who it was. Foden. That's a poor pass out wide. But Shirky's able to run onto it. Now it's Rodri, who's almost caught in possession, but he's strong enough to hold off the player pressing him. Now it's Kusanov. Ain't Nori. Rodri. Max Lane. Rico Lewis has a very good touch and turn by Lewis. Haaland. And then he just heads it straight down to a Bodø Glimt player. But now it's Ain't Nori again. 42 minutes played in the first half. Still Bodø Glimt 2, City 0. Shirky crosses the ball in. Headed clear again, and it's going to be another corner to City. Hopefully we can force a goal here before half-time. I think I should better now watch football directly in World Cup, because City ain't winning anything with this shit play. Now I'm starting to understand Pep's shouts, especially after a Mount Derby. You can't be putting in these 100%. These performances are not good enough at all. Shirky for the corner. And do you know what else isn't good enough? Our set pieces. Our set pieces are absolutely woeful, especially in a season where teams are hugely capitalising on set piece goals. We're just absolutely horrific at them. Foden hits a shot straight into the defender. It's just getting better and better, isn't it, lads? It's just getting better and better. Elaine. He goes out to Ain't Nori. What a shock. Ain't Nori goes to cross the ball, and that is an absolutely woeful cross. There's nobody attacking the box. There's literally nobody attacking the box. 0 players attacking the box. This is diabolical. Like, we've just got no... I don't understand how you can have Erling Haaland up top, right? And we lack such a goal threat. Like, I just don't understand why we can't create chances. Because I know these players are capable of creating chances. I have seen most people in this team create an abundance of chances. But as a collective, they can't string together 2 or 3 concrete attacks. That's poor from Shirky. It's a good tackle by Rodri. Kusanov. Again, the only players I think have played a decent first half, if I'm honest, are probably Rodri and Ain't Nori, if I'm being totally honest. Everyone else, I think Lewis has been okay, but other than that, I think they're the only 2 players that have sort of looked like they've offered anything for City. Now it's Lewis. To Elaine. Now it's to Johnny Vinders. Cross to Kusanov. Foden. O'Reilly. Vinders, that's a very, very good turn. Then inside to Foden, who just about gets it back to Vinders. Now it's Foden again. Vinders. He goes inside to Shirky. That's an excellent pass. Out wide to O'Reilly. Cross comes into Haaland! And it's wide! How... That's excellent play there from Weinders, Cherky and O'Reilly. It's a good cross, and he needs to be doing so much better. Haaland needs to be doing so much better with that chance. How is he not scored? Every single day you expect Haaland to score that chance, and then that's poor. We got 1 minute of added time in this first half, so it does not look like we'll be getting a goal before half time. If that was the chance, that Haaland chance was the chance to claw one back, and he's just absolutely wasted it. O'Reilly, Foden, that's an awful touch again. That's an absolutely diabolical touch by Foden in the midfield. But City do have a throw-in with 20 seconds left of this first half. Can't imagine it will amount to much, but oh well. Kusanov, Rodri, Lewis, Elaine, O'Reilly, Rodri, Lewis, and that is half time. That is actually that's embarrassing. That is actually one of the most embarrassing first half performances I think I've ever seen. That is shameful. That is shameful from a lot of the players on the pitch, right? Haaland, what is happening? What is happening? Because I don't understand how he's missed that chance at the end of the half, right? And then we look at Foden, who's just taken loose touch after loose touch after loose touch in the midfield, right? You know, and I think they're the two main standout players that I'm not too happy with. Because again, I can't be too harsh on Elaine because he's literally only there for he's literally only there because he has to be. Like, he's been thrown in the deep end, so I don't want to be too harsh on him. I'll bring on Makasa, sorry. Man, bro. Could probably create better chances than Foden. Yeah, Foden's having a horrific game right now. This is real bad. Like, really, really bad from him. That was a real rough first half to watch. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I actually don't even know what I can say about that. That was diabolical. That was nothing short of embarrassing. Both of the goals we conceded were crafted way too easily. It was really weak defending from Kusanov, and it was poor just lack of composure from Elaine for the second goal. I think maybe Donnarumma should probably even do better for the second goal. And then going forward, other than the first 10 minutes of the match, we haven't really offered much, I think, other than that Haaland chance at the end of the half, which he had to be scoring. He has to make that 2-1. So yeah, there's something seriously wrong going on at City to start 2026. We have had an absolutely horrid start to the year. I mean, we've won 2 games out of 6 are we on, and we've won 2, and neither of them have been in the Premier League. They've been in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. Obviously, I know this isn't a Premier League game, it's a Champions League game, but it's still, the pinnacle of European football, pinnacle of world football, and we're just underperforming. Maybe we're in for a second half surprise. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it after what I've seen in the first half. Especially given the options we have on the bench. This could be an absolutely horrific evening for us. Really, really bad. Real bad. I wouldn't even say traumatized is the word, because I wouldn't even say that United performance was traumatic, because for it to be traumatic, I feel like they would have had to go out there and try to win the game and had a heartbreaking loss. But there was nothing heartbreaking about the loss to United. One team turned up and one team didn't, and United, for the most part, played very, very well in that game. City, not so much. And City right now, I do not even think Bodø Glimt are playing good football. I do not think they're playing that good. We have just gifted them 2 golden opportunities to score. And then when we have a golden opportunity to score, our striker, the best striker in the world, misses it. That just shows the state of affairs that we've got going on right now. We'll have a look. We'll have a little look, shall we? Should we look at the stats, right? City have had 1 shot on target out of 7 shots. Bodø Glimt have had 4 shots on 2 on target. And would you like to know how many goals Bodø Glimt have scored? They've scored 2, which means they've scored every shot on target that they've had. Welcome back, Edison. Thought you would have had this one in the bag tonight. Again, it's a very different, and it's something I said before the game. I expect City to win this game, but going to Bodø Glimt away is a very, very difficult fixture. Something Spurs learnt last year, and they've also learnt this season as well. There's a reason why they got to the semi-final of the Europa League. There is a very, very difficult ground to go to away from home, and that's where they capitalise in the European competitions. Going and playing at home, where they play on a surface that is completely sort of void of existence in the top European leagues. Yeah, they do. They play on a 3G pitch, which it kind of feeds into my point. You know, you've got the climate there is considerably colder over there than it is here. They play on a 3G pitch. Like, you know, there's a lot of different factors to go into what makes it a difficult place to go and play. But that's not an excuse for this City performance, because this City performance has nothing to do with the surface that we're playing on, or the climate, or the sort of gravitational pull of the moon. You know, it had something to do with the fact that we are unwilling to create chances and we play such passive football, because for some reason these players still think, oh, we're Manchester City, people will roll over for us and just let us walk through and score. That's not the case. Furthermore, that hasn't even been the case for half of these players when they've played at City. Let's actually look at the starting lineup, right? Let's look. There is only 2 players in this starting 11. 3 players in the starting 11 have played for a City, played in the City team that have dominated football, and that is Rodri, Haaland, and Foden. Shirky, Lewis, Reinders, O'Reilly, Max-Alain, Kusanov, Aït-Nouri, Donnarumma never dominated football with City. Maybe you could say Lewis has dominated football with City as well. So yeah, we'll bump that up to 4. But other than that, you know, there's a good 7 players on this pitch that have never dominated football with Manchester City, never dominated the Premier League, never conquered Europe with Manchester City, yet they go out and play with such arrogance that it is their God-given right to win every single game because they play for Manchester City. And it's embarrassing. It really, really is embarrassing. I mean, you look at the first goal. Oh, I mean, that's even suspect from Alain, actually, to come out and try win that ball. But then again, Kusanov is not strong enough defending. No one closes down the cross. Alain's not marking his man back post, and it is probably poor goalkeeping. So Alain makes one mistake. Pushes up too far, right? Misses the ball. Kusanov then, weak challenge, lets the attacker get back up on his feet. And then neither Alain or O'Reilly are marking the man sneaking in back post, and then Donnarumma jumps over the ball. So, you know, that's just a mess. That's a mess of the highest order at the back, right? But, you know, that's just one goal. You can capitalise from that. You know, you restart the game with possession. No, never mind, because 2 minutes later, Alain is getting pressed by 3 Bodø Glimt players, chests it down, and then has it taken off of his foot. You know, the ball played around the corner against him. You know, again, nobody marking their number 9 at the back stick. Poor from Alain again. Kusanov has to run across to try cover, leaving, you know, their striker unmarked at the back stick. You know, Aït-Nouri, Reinders, Rodri, nowhere to be found. The ball goes across to him, and it's an easy finish. So I'd say both of those goals have come from just poor anticipation and just poor sort of judgment from Max-Alain. Although I do think Donnarumma could have probably done better for both of them, and it was very, very lucky that the game didn't go to 3-0. And again, the only chance I can think of us having is that Haaland chance at the end of the first half, which he put wide. So It's just a poor showing from City. Very, very poor showing. And I don't really see how this improves, if I'm being totally honest with you. I don't see how this gets any better, but you know, one of you guys might have the answer in the chat. I'm going to quickly check Twitter and see what everyone's got for me there. Probably a lot of the same of what I'm saying, because you know, I just speak so much sense. But this is dark. This is diabolical. This is so diabolical. Yeah, you know, a lot of people saying the same, really. I think Haaland should probably come off for Marmoush, I'd say. And I don't really know how to fix any of the other issues, because we don't have enough defenders on the bench to really sort of shore up the back line. We find ourselves in a very sticky situation. I'll leave it at that. We find ourselves in a very, very sticky situation with the squad, and we have a huge uphill battle in the second half to avoid an absolutely embarrassing result, right? Because this performance has been nothing short of embarrassing so far. So I do think we are in need of a miracle to save this game for us, if I'm being totally honest, because it's just not good enough, is it? It's just so poor. And there's no other real way to put it. You know, we should not be 2-0 down. We shouldn't even be 1-0 down. Again, we're gifting teams opportunities. We're only scoring goals when teams gift us the opportunity to score, and teams are scoring against us because we're gifting them opportunities to score. You know, that is one of the worst combinations you could have in football, and that is what's going on at Manchester City right now, which is diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. So bad. But I think that's all you can really say on the first half. Like, there's no other real insight I can give on that, because we're just poor. I'm going to be honest. If I see Foden Haaland next half, game's done. I don't really. I can hear myself. I don't like that. Sorry. That was bad. I didn't like that. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know who. I agree with Haaland, but I just don't. I don't see who we bring Foden off for, because I do think it's very, very unfair to bring one of the youngsters on in this game. I just feel like it's leaving them out to dry, like hanging them out to dry, if I'm honest. If you were to bring one of them on right now, but that again, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion on the situation. Just need a big second half, man. Just need a huge second half. It's just not doing it for me right now. Just not doing it for me in the slightest. I'm absolutely shattered, man. I had work today as well. You know, I was actually excited to come home and watch this game, but boy, was I wrong to be excited, man. Was I wrong? We went from treble winners to laughingstock. This board is a joke. I wouldn't even say it's 100% on the board. I mean, there's, you know, we definitely mishandled last summer. 100% we mishandled last summer, but, you know, there's a lot of responsibility on some of the players in this team. You know, Foden, Haaland as well, like Bernardo Silva. You know, some of these players are just not pulling their weight at all, when they're meant to be some of the, you know, they're meant to be veterans of this game. They're meant to be serial winners with Manchester City, and they're just not pulling their weight. Oh, hi Milo, thanks for joining the stream, man. I mean, you've probably caught me at a very good time, very good time, because you know, things are not going great for City right now. I mean, not going great, I think, is an understatement. This is embarrassing. This is an embarrassment of the highest order. Doku and Marmoush on for sure. I wouldn't take Shirky off, man. I think, you know what? I'd probably take Foden off actually for Doku, and I'd keep Shirky on, because I just feel like Shirky's got a lot more to offer than Foden right now. I think we're more likely to see Shirky pop up with a moment of magic than we are that for Foden. I'm actually gonna change my light quickly if I can find the blooming. There we are. I'm gonna change the color of my light. Oh, that's the brightness of my light. Where's the button I'm looking for? There we are. No, I've got it wrong again. There we are. That should look a tad bit better. I don't look as pale now. I don't think so. I mean, again, like, even though we've got like exciting players, you know, I really appreciate the sub, man. I really appreciate the sub. I hope you grow to enjoy a lot of the content that I produce on this channel, because I do have big things planned for this year, right? But you know, even going to the bench, I just don't even like. Obviously, there's quality there. There's impactful players in there, but I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it happening. Like, I'm so uninspired after that first half. Like, the inspiration has just left my body. It's dark. It's so dark. Yeah, he didn't join the right team. Nah, don't get it twisted. I'd still rather play for City than Liverpool right now. I think things are slightly better over here than they are for you guys, if I'm honest. If we lose the game, Champions League dream is over. Not 100% sure. Not 100%. You know, we've still got Galatasaray to play. But again, it's a huge task. Huge task. But City to get us back underway. We still have Foden and no subs made at half-time. Mohammed, I know you're going to be absolutely raging at this. But we're back underway, and hopefully we can have a way better second half than we did the first half. Because that first half was absolutely dreadful. Well, actually, no. There was a 10-minute period where I don't think it was too bad. But other than that... Oh, my days. This light's actually... There we are. I think that's perfect. Finally got it right. Eventually. Not gonna lie, I think we'll make playoffs in the UCL this year. Is your form? No, actually, you lost to PSV, lost to Galatasaray. You beat Frankfurt and you beat Inter, and you beat Madrid. Who have you got this week? Who is it you're playing tomorrow? Or this week? Is it tomorrow? Are their games Thursday? I'm not too sure. I haven't actually looked at the Champions League fixtures this week. I've actually been quite busy. The only one I knew of was obviously City's. Marseille, that is a difficult game, but I do think you should probably... I didn't know you were playing Marseille, actually, because apparently if you lose Slots 100% getting sacked. Allegedly, that's what I read anyway. I can guarantee we would have played this game at the Etihad and we would have won. We probably would have won. It probably wouldn't have been a convincing win, but we probably would be winning this game if it was at the Etihad. O'Reilly now. He's almost just tripped over on the ball. Now it's Rodri. He goes to ping one out wide to Ain't Nori, but it's intercepted. It's intercepted by a lane. And now we can come forward with Rico Lewis. He goes inside to Shirky. And now back out to Ain't Nori. I'm not shocked. City are losing in the slightest. And I think that's probably part of the problem, that I'm not shocked. Lewis now. Max Alain. Vinders. O'Reilly. Vinders. Lewis. Kusanov. Ain't Nori. Lewis. It's a beautiful pass inside to Shirky, but you can't find Haaland. But again, the ball's only cleared as far as a lane on the edge of the box. And now it's O'Reilly. Into Vinders. Back out to O'Reilly. Vinders. Shoot straight at the goalkeeper. Poor shot. That's an absolutely disgraceful shot. I think it's also about travel fatigue. Nathaniel, these players are playing 4 games a week and travel to Newcastle, and I'm really surprised. Yeah, neither am I. But at the same time, like I still expect, you still expect like a little bit better than what we're seeing. Ooh, we just about keep the ball there. Now it's Rodri. Foden. He turns. Vinders. Elaine. Vinders. Foden. Vinders. Rodri. We never really had a good squad depth coming in this game. Yeah, true. Again, true. I wasn't like, that was always my one worry, how light our squad was coming into this match. Crossed in. That's a beautiful touch. Shot. Save by Donnarumma. Is anyone gonna defend that? All right, nice. Shirky's picked the ball up, and is he fouled, or is that a throw-in? It's going to be a throw-in. Is Bernardo Silva on the bench? Oh, I'd hope not. I tell you what, I would hope not. We'll have a look. Bernardo Silva is not on the bench, so that's one thing we can be happy about. I do think it would have tipped me over the edge if I had to watch Bernardo come on and play. Rodri, Vinders. Out wide to Shirky, who's got Nori once again on the overlap. He goes inside to Lewis. Lewis skips away from one, then skips away from two, but his pass forward to Nori's intercepted. And that's decent work there from Elaine. No, this 100% shows how poor our squad depth is. But you got to remember, Pep likes to work with a small squad, and Pep's always right. And that's the one main thing I always disagree with Pep on, about the size of the squad and the size of the squad we need. Because it's just not good enough, is it? It just really is not good enough. Just good defensive work in there. Was that Elaine? Oh no, that was Kusanov. That was Kusanov. Now it's O'Reilly. He goes back to Max Elaine. Arsenal have a great squad, man. It makes me a bit jealous the depth they have at centre back. Oh, 100%. They've got really, really good, really strong centre back depth. And it just makes ours no, because the thing is, on paper we actually have good, like, if you actually look at it on paper, we have good centre back depth. But when you actually like put it into practice, and the availability of all of our centre backs is not that good. So I guess when you look at it on paper, and if you just look at the centre backs we've got good centre back depth. But then when you actually like put it into practice and look at how much game time they're all going to get, then you kind of start to see where the problems lie. Oh yeah, no, this is bad. I will not deny the fact we're getting absolutely battered. Surely, you'd be shocked, man. The amount of times I've said it, we'll probably score at least one, and then I'll go on to be absolutely just... I'll be absolutely just mesmerised by the fact that we can't. I do think it's time for Marmoush to come on. Obviously, Bodø Glimt have just had the ball in the back of the net, but I do believe that was offside. It was given offside, and I do believe he was offside, and he was offside. Just about. But once again, it's very, very poor defending. Well, I might have been looking at the wrong man. He might actually be onside. That may actually be onside. It is not. The goal has not been given, and we are still only 2-0 down. I say only like that's a good thing. It's still absolutely embarrassing. 8 Nori now. Throw in. Conceded another throw in. Nice. Yeah, this is not getting any better, is it? This is really not getting any better. This is actually somehow gotten 10 times worse. I thought we'd be up for this game as well, but like, turns out I'm mistaken and I don't know the squad well enough. O'Reilly, that's a decent bit of footwork there. Fires it into Rodri. It then goes out wide to Foden. Phil, please do something. Do something, please. He goes back to O'Reilly. It's one thing I'll always give O'Reilly, man. He always gives it 100%. It might not always put in the best performance, but he's always trying. He's always trying to make something happen. And I'll give that to him. Foden. To be fair, we do miss Nico a considerable amount, which is weird to say when we've got Rodri playing. Phil, that's actually a disgrace. Fair enough. No, fair play. That was actually disgraceful. That was actually a disgrace. That was diabolical. Doku is warming up, so that's a good sign. I think I saw Marmouche there as well. Elaine, that's a beautiful ball into Vinders. Vinders can turn and run at goal here. He does just about keep the ball. Is that a corner? Goal kick, corner? Corner. That was really, really good work by Vinders. And this is what I mean. I made a TikTok saying that Vinders is very, very underrated in the City team. He's our only midfielder that knows how to take the ball forward and create chances. And I'm just being proven right there. You know, it might not always be the best thing, right? But, you know, at least he tries to make something happen going forward, unlike Bernardo and Foden right now. Corner in. Another poor corner from City. Now it's Foden. There's a foul in the box, so it's going to be a free kick. This is diabolical. This is absolutely diabolical, ladies and gentlemen. But again, like the stream and subscribe if you haven't already, especially if you're enjoying this absolute disaster class from Manchester City, because I'm sure there's a few of you out there that are. You know, we're 10 minutes into the second half right now, and I haven't seen anything like promising going forward that looks like we're going to score a goal. So this could be a very, very long evening. Very long evening. Elaine. Now it's Rodri. Now Nori. He's got space to bring the ball forward. He goes out right to O'Reilly. Now he fires it into Shirky, and now it's Vinders! Ooh, that was a good shot. That was fair enough. That was a good move from City. It does hit the side net, but that was a decent move. I want to see more of that. That was real good stuff. And it wasn't Shirky, actually. That was Rico Lewis. My apologies. But no, that was a good move from City. Hopefully we can see more of that. And again, that's what Vinders brings to this team that Bernardo Silva and Foden at the moment are not bringing. So I do think a lot of people are very, very, very harsh on Vinders, and we're sort of starting to see the importance of him in this squad. Rodri, that's poor. That's a really poor way to give away possession. That is so poor. And Bodø Glimt come forward again. They shoot 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. And that's a spectacular finish. But this Donnarumma performance has been nothing short of embarrassing as well. No, Foden's recent form has been absolutely shocking. And this City performance is absolutely diabolical. This is beyond embarrassing at this point now. Like, I don't even know what to say to that. That's a brilliant finish, but Donnarumma has not been at it today. This is bad. This is real bad. This is diabolical. Do you guys want to see how dark this performance is right now? This is how dark the performance is right now. See this? The light in my room right now is like sort of signifying, right? You know, putting into perspective how dark this performance is. The light you're seeing right now is how dark this performance is. You know what? Nah, you know what? No, we'll amplify it. So what you're seeing right now is how dark this performance is, ladies and gentlemen. Can you see anything? No, you cannot, because it is extremely dark right now. Very, very dark. Dark days. But, you know, enough of that. Let me actually turn these lights back on, if I can find the switch for my lights now. Oh, I've absolutely cooked myself. No, there we go. There's one. There's two. Unfortunately, we're back. Unfortunately, we've got light again. Unfortunately, we have to sit and watch the rest of this second half. I am beyond. Nah, my head's gone. My head's gone. I'm sat here. See where my bed frame is? That's where my head is. It's gone. It's left. It's over. I am very, very, very upset with this performance. That's a good ball in behind for Rico Lewis. The cross comes into Haaland. He misses it. Foden shoots. It's deflected back into. Oh, we're actually gash. We're so O'Reilly. Bang. Shirky. Bang. Yes! 1 goal back. Ryan Shirky. Let's go. Come on. 59 minutes too late, but we've got 1 goal back. That's a beautiful finish from Shirky. My goat. Let's go. That's a beautiful pass for Rico Lewis. The cross is decent. Haaland just can't get there. Foden shoots. It's a very, very poor shot. I don't even think the defender really needs to block that to keep it on play. We've got some tidy footwork here by O'Reilly. He just flicks it back, and that's a beautiful shot from Shirky. Beautiful, beautiful goal. Let's go. Come on. We're back. Let's go. Only 2 goals behind now. I say only 2 goals behind. That's still a considerable amount of goals to be behind right now. But, you know, you get my point. You get the sentiment. Let's go. Come on. We're so cooked. We're so cooked. Yeah, and that's going to be a yellow card for Rodri. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Still plenty of time to turn this around. Shirky again. Vinders. Oh, Foden was forward. I think he probably should have picked him out. But we went backwards, and it's O'Reilly again. Foden. Loses the ball once again. Get him off the pitch, man. And I'm a huge Foden fan, but get him off the pitch, please. Rodri's about to get sent off. Rodri's sent off. Rodri's about to get sent off. Because that's definitely a second yellow card. Yep, Rodri's off. Red card. This is dark. This is potentially one of the. Nah, this is so dark. This is so dark. Red card to Rodri. And that all comes from Foden losing the ball in a silly position and all our players getting caught up the pitch. Rodri's just got 2 yellow cards in the space of 5 minutes. Now he's been sent off. Oh man, oh, it's so over. It's never been this over. Let's actually go look. Let's go look right now. Let's have a little look. So when it refreshes for me, sorry. Let me just wait for it to refresh. So Rodri got booked in the 60th minute, and he got his second yellow card in the 62nd minute. 2 minutes. He's got 2 yellow cards in 2 minutes. That's actually impressive. And it's not even in the same action either. It's not like he's committed a foul and then been booked for you know, dissent by, you know, giving all that to the ref. He has committed 2 different illegal offences in 2 minutes. And what's even worse is I thought Rodri was one of our better players on the pitch. So now this is going to get dark. This is going to get very, very dark. All of that optimism I had after Shirky scored is completely out the window, especially because we're about to concede again. No, it's literally just hit off the bar, but Donnarumma was nowhere near that. So if that was on target, that was in. But they're still alive here. And Elaine sees it out for a corner. This is bad. This may be worse than any performance we saw last season. This is crazy. I do not have a vocabulary big enough to describe how bad of a performance this is that is unfolding in front of my very own 2 eyes. Like, I can go in, enhance my vision and watch it. Not that I'd want to enhance my vision and get a better view of this disaster class, but I have, and it's just worse and worse. If it was up to me right now, if I was not on stream for your guys' entertainment, the lights would be off, the glasses would be off, the TV would be off, and my eyes would be closed. My eyes would be closed. But unfortunately, I am here. Unfortunately, I am here, and you guys are making me sit and witness this absolute disaster class. Go on, make it 4. It's 4. It's 4. It's 4. It's offside. It's offside. It's off. So I almost a Superman punched my monitor. That's... Oof. This is bad. This is bad. Yeah, he's well offside, but this is bad. Oh, I don't even know what to say anymore. I don't even know what to say. Like, is this a good enough time? Like, Kusanov is playing, yes. You would not think Kusanov is playing. You would think City is playing with 0 players at the back. But Omar Mamouche is coming on, ladies and gentlemen. Omar Mamouche is about to enter the field of play. And at this point, I would probably bring him on for Phil Foden and keep Haaland on. That's how bad Phil Foden has been. I'm like this. I'm this close to just going non-verbal for the rest of the stream and just sitting here and shaking my head. If it somehow gets worse than this, the rest of the stream will just me be sat like this, shaking my head. Because I just don't have the vocabulary to describe and just articulate how bad what's happening really is. You're going to need to find somebody that is in a completely different intellectual class than me to be able to put into words how bad this performance is, because I cannot find the words. I could search far and wide right now. Far and wide I could search and I would not be able to find the words to describe. I would not be able to form the sentence to describe how bad this performance is. It's that bad. It is that bad. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's never been this over, man. It's never ever been this over. Please don't tell me it's actually 4, because for some reason I'm still in delay. If it's actually 4, I don't know. Like, oh man, don't do this to me. Oh. Why are we so bad? That's a good ball forward by Shirky to Vinders, who then cuts it back to Vayan Shirky, who then tries to slide it through to Haaland, but it's retrieved by Rico Lewis. Tell you what, I wish I could enjoy the Northern Lights right now, because I'm not enjoying this. Foden. Shoot Foden. Oh, I can't do this anymore. Sub him off, please. Oh man, we're actually about to approach the 70th minute and we still have not made a substitution. I don't know what to do. Oh man. See, after I finish this stream, I'm going to record my match reaction and I'm just going to stare at a wall for the rest of my evening, I think. I think I'd get more enjoyment from staring at a wall than this. This is the worst. This is bad. No, Mohamed, he's not on the pitch. He's still on the sidelines. Oh, this is absolutely... Yes, this is so bad. This is... Bro, I'm gonna kill myself. That's a joke. That's a joke. I'm not going to kill myself. YouTube, do not take that seriously. I was joking. I am in sound mental... I'm in a sound mental state, and I am not going to commit any harm on myself. Yes, Kusanov was in the starting XI. It was him and Max Elaine that started at centre back. Marmoush is coming on the pitch. No, he's not. Yes, he is. Now, if we lose to Wolves, then it's over. We need to actually be liquidated. Phil Foden is coming off the pitch, ladies and gentlemen. Phil Foden is coming off the pitch. Thank you. Marmoush is on. Because that Phil Foden display... That Phil Foden display has made me want to cry real tears. Real tears have almost left my eyes. Here's Omar Marmoush. Has the corner been taken too quickly? Okay. Okay, buddy. Let's just wrap this up. What's going on with City? I wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell you. I really wish I could tell you. But unfortunately, I cannot. Unfortunately, I do not have the words to describe what's going on. Corner comes in. Max Elaine heads it wide. I'm going... Oh, man. Oh, man. It's so over. Whose idea... Alright, own up. Whose idea was it for me to go live this evening? Somebody must have gotten our aggressive centre-back mad. I mean... Nah, it's just... I don't even know what to say. But anyway, own up. Whose idea was it for me to go live today? Whose idea was this? Own up. Which one of you was it? Which one of you has put me through this absolute just ring of torture? Own up, please. Please own up. Bro, I'm on the verge of a crash out. I don't remember the last time I crashed out over a football match, but this has actually made me mad. Like, this has actually assaulted my eyeballs. O'Reilly. Oh, it's so over. It's so over. Hi, bro. You've caught me at a very good time, man. You've caught me at a very good time. I'm on the verge of a crash out, so I would stick around because I can tell you, the entertainment value is about to shoot through the roof in this stream, because we've got a serious crash out pending right now. I play FIFA. I don't even have FC Mobile installed on my phone, right? Lewis, never mind. I can't do this anymore. I really can't do this anymore. This is bad. This is actually bad. This is so bad. This is bad. I actually... we might be the worst team in the world. Like, Gahey might have been capping when he said he was playing for the best team in England. Like, Gahey may have been lying when he said he played for the best team in England, because, like, we're something, but we're not that. We're not that, man. Like, oh, bro, this is... Oh, bro, I don't know what to say. Good news, though, the game's almost over. Bad news, the game's not over. I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to say. Do you know what's wild, right? Rodri got sent off, right? And I still can't name 3 players, right? Rodri got sent off, and I still can't name 3 players that have performed better than him. That's where I'm at right now. Like, that's actually the point I've gotten to, where one of our players receives 2 yellow cards, and he's probably still in our top 3 best performances of this 90 minutes. Are we understanding how bad that is? A man has played 62 minutes of football, got 2 yellow cards, and he is in the top 3 best performers for his team in this game. Because the only players that I think have probably performed better than him, it actually, scrap that, I think Nathaniel may be the only player that has played better than him. Maybe O'Reilly as well. Other than that, and other than the Shirky goal, I cannot name a memorable action from any... A nameable... like, what is it? A memorable positive action, should I say, from any of our players. None at all, other than the Shirky goal. Nothing else springs to mind. Positive, anyway. I can list off a whole host of negatives, but I'll do that in the reaction video, man. You guys are going to want to stick around for the reaction video to this game, because I'm going to go absolutely nuclear. Because this is dark. Like I actually... Am I asleep? Am I in a nightmare right now? Like, is that what's going on? If I pinch myself, am I going to wake up from this horrible, hellish nightmare? Or is this real life? Because I'm starting to believe this is not real life. Oh, man. Oh, man. Alright, go on, Harden. Let's go. Marmouche, let's go. Let's go. Let's move. Let's move. Go on, Omar. Go on, Omar. Shirky. Marmouche. Go on, let's go. Go on, Omar. Cross. Corner. Corner. Okay. Okay, that's more like it. That's more like it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I think Leverkusen definitely come away from that game with the 3 points. If I'm being honest. So we've got a short corner to Winders, who then crosses it in to absolutely nobody. We are absolutely pathetic in the air. Rico Lewis now. Ryan Nathaniel. Remember, guys, like the stream if you're enjoying my crash out, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I think we're like 8 subscribers away from 1k. So, you know, keep it pushing, lads. Elaine. Nathaniel. For 5 days straight, bro. I don't remember the last time I willingly engaged with Twitter, bro. Like, I'm on Twitter. Yeah, I'm on Twitter, but you won't see me actively engage in discourse because it's just so over. But again, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, is Nathan Knows Ball. I know it's not involved in my socials at the bottom. It's because I stopped using it for a while. But now I'm kind of back, I'd say. That's a foul. Surely that's a foul. Yeah, you've lost your mind. The referee's lost his mind. Now, Nathaniel just committed GBH. Nice. Nathaniel's now... We're already down to 10 men, and Nathaniel just committed GBH. Brilliant. 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 Let's go. That is probably a foul on Ryan Shirky. I won't lie to you. But then Nathaniel decided, in retaliation to that, he was going to go commit grievous bodily harm. Yo, well, Jax, enjoy your sleep. Kusadov has not been great, though. I don't think he's been good, but City haven't been. City as a whole have not been good, especially defensively. That's a foul on O'Reilly. This is actually diabolical, bro. This is one of the darkest things I've ever witnessed. This is in the top 5 darkest things I've ever witnessed. I actually think it would be lighter under my bed right now than it is in this football match. That's how dark things have gone. Mamouche. O'Reilly. Nah, he's not been good, bro. Like he unfortunately, but like I wouldn't say he's alone in being bad. I'd say he's just what is it? He's just in a bad team that's playing poor in this game at the moment. But I wouldn't say he's been like a standout bad player. I just don't think he's been good at all. So yeah. No, it's O'Reilly. Shirky. He plays one through to Vinders. This is a poor first touch from Vinders. And Bodø Glimt will come away with this one. Never mind, Vinders has committed a foul. So we've got 10 minutes left. 10 painful, agonising minutes left of this game. And I am not happy. I am not happy. Me, not happy. Not happy with what's going on right now. Not happy in the slightest. Does this face look amused? Because I can tell you it's not. Out of 10, how much are you pep out? Bro, I'm not even... I wouldn't even say I'm that pep out. I'd say I'm probably on like a 4, right? I think there are bigger problems at play than the manager. Because like Pep doesn't coach some of the individual performances that we see on a week-to-week basis. If this Foden form continues, the signed shirt might need to take a like a brief absence from the wall, bro. Because I don't know if I can platform these kind of performances. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm Foden's biggest fan, but these performances I've seen in the last few games have been nothing short of absolutely shameful. This is diabolical, man. This is so diabolical. Like, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. I've actually been speechless for the last 20 minutes. It might not sound it, because I've filled the air, I've filled the silence with my voice, right? With my ever so annoying and grating voice. But behind all of that, I am absolutely speechless. Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand what's happening. I don't understand how you could physically put out such a poor performance. That's a good interception by Mamouche. Is Elaine going to get caught on the ball once again? I think so. He just about gets us out of trouble. Now it's Mamouche. He's instantly dispossessed though. 4.1. I'd say that's generous. That's very... Is that out of 10 or is that out of 5? I don't... the thing is, right, I don't really want to comment on Pep at the moment because I think a lot of the issues we had last season were down to Pep, whereas a lot of what I'm seeing now, I think, is down to set individual players more than it is down to the manager. Oh, Shirky, bro. What was that? That's a foul. Never mind, they'll play on. Mamouche compress. No, never mind. Yeah, this is... I can't do it, man. I just can't. Oh, bro. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why do bad things happen to good people? Why is my evening being ruined in such, like, extreme fashion? Like, you know, we could have lost 1-0, we could have lost 2-1, you know, and it'd be a respectable loss, you know. But this is bad. This is really, really bad. This is somehow worse than the performance we put in on the weekend. Which is impressive, because that was a very spineless and toothless performance that we put in on the weekend. But this is, we've topped it somehow. We've somehow managed to play even worse. O'Reilly now with the cross. Haaland brings it down. Weinders shoots. And it's away. Just about. Now Max Alain. Lewis. People want to give Lewis a lot of stick, but he's been so much better than Foden has been today. And that's not saying much, because people love to give Foden a lot of stick as well. But just Lewis is, like, people will come on and say Lewis deserves to never play for this football club again after this performance. But there have been a lot worse players on this football pitch than Rico Lewis. There goes Lewis. That is a... Never mind, I take everything I just said back. That is an absolutely horrendous pass from Rico Lewis. And that's an even worse one from Max Alain. So... Oh, bro. That's a foul. That's a foul. Never mind, they're playing on... No, it's a foul. Never mind. This is diabolical. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to say. It's done. This is the worst footballing display I think I've ever seen. Max Alain. 5 minutes of normal time left here to play until this absolute disaster class is finally ended. Oh, Izzy, you want Wolves to win, do you? You want Nick to be happy, do you? Is that what you want? Is that what you really want? Is that what you really, really want? Shirky, that's actually diabolical. I'm sorry. That's crazy. I don't know. Like, I don't even know what to say. We got Rico Lewis on the ball now. 86 minutes played. Still 3-1. Alain. Out to Ain't Nori. He's had a very quiet second half. And that's poor from him as well. But Shirky's able to retrieve the ball. And then he cuts it back. Lifts one into the box. O'Reilly headed straight at the goalkeeper. This is bad. This is really, really bad. That's just uncalled for. That's actually potentially the rudest thing you've ever said to me. I actually feel like I could turn my monitor off right now and not watch the game, and I'd still be able to give adequate commentary on what's happening, because I would literally just sit here and say we're cooked and it's so over, and it would probably apply to the situation. That's a foul. Oh, no, never mind. That's not a foul by Kusanov. And now Rico Lewis has the ball. He's instantly stripped of possession. And then he puts it out for Bodø Glimt throw-in. Oh, man. Oh, man. All I can do is shake my head. All I can do is shake my head. This is... Oh. I just don't... Like... I don't know what to say. Like, it's gotten to that point. Like, it's a long ball, absolute hopeful long ball to absolutely nobody. It's so over. I've never seen something be so over before. Vinder's in behind now. And no, he takes it out of play. Can we just end the game now? I actually do not think anybody would be upset if he blew the whistle early. Would anybody feel hard done by if he blew the whistle for full time right now? Because I can assure you I would not. It would save me at least 4 valuable minutes of my evening, which I could spend doing something a lot better than watching this absolutely hideous performance. Absolutely hideous performance. Most games where we lose, I can come out with at least one positive. But this is the most shameful and disgusting performance I've ever seen. Donnarumma, you can hang your head in shame. Max Lane, bro, I said I was not going to go in on you, bro, but you may need to hang your head in shame. Phil Foden, you can hang your head in shame twice. Erling Haaland, you can crouch down and hang your head in shame, so your head is even lower than everybody else's. Four minutes added on. I need to endure 4 more minutes of this dross. Of this absolute dross. I need to withstand 4 more minutes of it. Now, fair play, you actually told me it was going to be 4 minutes. You know what? Fair enough. I'll give you that one. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Oh, man. Go on, make it 4. Go on, like, nah, have them make it 4. Go on. Donnarumma's made a save, ladies and gentlemen. Donnarumma's actually made a save. I don't know what to say, bro. The score is unfortunately 3-1. It's at the top of the screen, bro. Don't make me read it out loud. Ain't Nori, or is that? No, that is Ain't Nori. Drags it back to Elaine. We got 3 more minutes left to suffer through. Elaine chips one into the box. Marmouche doesn't attack it and it goes straight to the keeper. Oh man, it's so over. It's never been this over. It's never, ever been this over before. But the point of over we have reached right now is impressive. I think fuming might be an understatement, my boy. I think fuming may be an understatement, because this has almost brought a grown man to tears. Oh, Shirky, please, Lewis, please, someone just do something, please. Ain't no, oh, bro, ain't Nori beat your man, bro. Oh, I've had enough, bro. I've had enough. Thing is, I'm not even shocked. Well, actually, I am. I'm shocked at how bad the performance was. But am I shocked that we lost the game? No. This performance, on the other hand, was not what I was expecting. I actually feel like you could clone me 10 times and field me as your entire starting 11 and you would get a better result than what you've seen today. And I'm being 100% serious when I say that. because this is bad. This is bad. We have just 30 seconds left of this game. Thank God. Right, you know, we'll count this down. We'll start counting this down. Right, 1 moment, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That actually should be it. Come on, blow the whistle, please. Oh, it's over. Thank God. Thank God it's over. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Oh, 100, man. Haaland's gone ghost in 1 in 7 or 8, something like that. Pep doesn't even bench him. Pep couldn't bench him, to be fair, but now that Marmoush is back, I can expect him to be benched. Where are we? We're still sit 4th, but that's only because we've played more games than everybody else. Yeah, this is dark. This is dark. This is really dark. This is dark. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed the stream. Obviously, like the stream and subscribe if you haven't already. I am now going to go and record my match reaction video, and make sure you do not miss out, because I'm going to go nuclear in that video. I'm not holding back, because I am not happy. But yeah, make sure you like the stream if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're very, very close to 1,000 subscribers. Make sure you stick around for my match reaction video, because it's going to be an all-timer. I can promise you it's going to be an all-timer. But yeah,